Starting your day off with a take on Vegas you won't get anywhere else.
Hi, I'm Holly Madison, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hi, this is William Shatner, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and I listen to Brian Shapiro. Why? Because I'm a good American. So is he. And if you don't listen to him, you need to pack up and leave this country.
This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Come on, guys!
What's up, everybody? The Vegas Take back at you. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's in a good mood. The weekend right around the corner. I know I am. A lot to get to. We got a big Vegas Golden Knights game this weekend on Sunday. We'll get to that. And how about some drunken idiot San Jose Sharks fans? We'll talk about that, too. Verbally assaulting some Vegas Golden Knights fans. Just ridiculous. We'll get to that coming up in hour number 2. Oh, boy, do we have a lot to get to, particularly when it comes to Donald Trump and the Robert Mueller report. Senator Elizabeth Warren calling for the president to be impeached. We'll talk about that. Mitt Romney making some strong remarks as well, a guy that I've always admired. We'll talk about that. On Good Morning America this morning, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders making a complete and utter fool of herself. And speaking of fools yet, Donald Trump, he took to Twitter today. He went a little crazy. We're going to get to all that stuff, everything, I promise you. But I first want to start with hypocrisy in the media. That's right, both on the left and on the right. It happens everywhere. It happens on MSNBC. It happens on Fox News. I've never been a big Laura Ingraham fan for a lot of different reasons, mainly because I think she's a racist. I'm just going to flat out just say it. Yes, I believe Laura Ingraham is a racist. You remember when she said in regards to LeBron James, shut up and dribble? It's funny, she doesn't really make those remarks when guys like Ted Nugent come on her show. She made fun of a woman in Congress because of her accent, and now, going after Nipsey Hussle, the rapper, who has done so much to help people, help people in his community, and he just lost his life. So Laura Ingraham does a segment this week. She plays a portion of a 2016 song where the chorus of the song is F Donald Trump. Now, I don't agree with those lyrics. I don't think that is the right way to go. I'm going to be honest with you, I did not know who Nipsey Hussle was until he passed away. But it's not because I don't respect what he's done for the community and I respect what he's done in his career. It's not, I just really don't listen to that type of music these days. I did back in the 90s. I don't listen to it now. But it's a horrible tragedy. From what I see, he's a good dude who did a lot of good things for a lot of people and made something of himself, and I respect anybody like that who grows up in a tough community and makes something of himself, and he's raised a lot of money, he's helped a lot of people. So Laura Ingraham decides to attack him and says, okay, that's a very creative refrain in response to the song. She says the chorus that goes on, is that related to lowest unemployment ever, basically, for African Americans? So she goes on criticizing this guy who's just died. Now, here's the thing, right? If you want to criticize a rapper or a musician while they're alive, you want to give your opinions on it, I don't see anything wrong with that. But what about the timing of all this? The guy just was murdered. His family is grieving. And by the way, this is a good guy. It's not like we're talking about O.J. Simpson, okay? If O.J. Simpson was murdered last week, and I wouldn't condone it, but I wouldn't have a problem with people bad-mouthing the guy because based on his history. This guy, Nipsey Hussle, only had a history of making music and helping people. It's the timing of it. Do you understand? Laura Ingraham has a history of going after African Americans, whether it's LeBron James or somebody that might have an accent from another country who's in Congress. She does it time and time again. And I hate to talk about Justin Bieber. I don't think I've ever talked about Justin Bieber on this show, but in this aspect, I will agree with him. Bieber said, Laura Ingraham is absolutely disgusting at what you did on national television. How dare you laugh in the face of a person who's just passed on? It doesn't matter who it is, but disrespecting someone who was a pillar in the community and did right by people. Did you not think about the family who just lost a loved one and now have to see you mock him on national television? It's absurd, and you should be fired, period. I agree with Justin Bieber. I can't believe I'm saying this on the radio, but I do. I agree with Justin Bieber. And I talked about Laura Ingraham before, about how she talked about LeBron James, shut up and dribble, and I thought that was completely idiotic, and it makes her look really dumb. Because she has guys, like I said, like Ted Nugent, musicians, and Curt Schilling, former Major League Baseball pitcher, they've been on her show. She didn't say shut up and pitch. She didn't tell Ted Nugent to shut up and play music. It's interesting, I think. And for those of you Laura Ingraham supporters or people that support Fox News, I'd love to hear from you on that. I'd love to hear you defend Laura Ingraham. Because, yes, I'll say it again, I think she's a racist. I really do. And it's disgusting. And, yeah, I do think she should be fired. You're going to go after someone's lyrics, a rapper, after they have passed away? It'd be one thing if you did it when they were still alive. But a few weeks after this person was murdered in broad daylight, a good man who, okay, maybe you disagree with his lyrics. I don't agree with them. Why would you go after him now? And I want to talk a little bit about hypocrisy in the media. And this is a part of it. I want to play a video from Fox News. These are 90% of these people are Fox News people. And I'll open up the phone lines at 257-5396. Again, the number to call, 702-257-5396 is the number to call. But I want you first to listen to this video. And I want you to tell me who you think these people are talking about. What president, what politician do you think these people on Fox News are talking about? The word is hypocrisy. Have a listen to this.
What is wrong with this president? How dumb is he?
The purpose of a journalist is to hold people in power accountable.
Now, we're going to vet the president. We're going to talk about his vacation, his golfing.
2 golf outings for the president cost $2.9 million. That alone is amazing.
Should a president, the leader of the free world, be on a social network tweeting?
No.
He's kind of a celebrity president. He's kind of like Ryan Seacrest.
This is a president who does not really know what he wants to do. He simply wants to be popular with everybody, every audience before which he stands.
The president seems almost obsessed with cable TV, or am I wrong?
This is a president who rules by executive authority, executive action.
When he's not doing executive actions, he's out on the golf course.
The president heads to Florida for a boys' weekend of golf.
Yes, this president is the beneficiary of the vision and the action of his predecessor.
The rule used to be a sitting president doesn't criticize his predecessor, especially by name.
Has any president in your lifetime taken on this kind of tone, this kind of harshness, either towards his predecessor or towards a single media outlet? I have never seen this before.
Without the teleprompter, the president doesn't know exactly what to do correctly.
The president's budget that he gave today, all right, doesn't cut any deficit. It increases the debt.
For the man who said we have to get our deficit under control, he's not doing it. It's like golf, Mr. President. You play a lot of that.
He's certainly not acting like the most transparent president in history, is he, Watt?
What's in those records that you don't want us to know about?
Once again, he's pandering to the worst regimes and thugs and dictators.
This is a president that is acting like a dictator. This is a president who is ignoring the rule of law and siding with lawbreakers.
This is a president now who's demonstrated that he will lie to push through a program.
Once the president tweets it, then it becomes canon. Oh, that's a fact. The president says it's a fact.
He's in love with campaigning. He's going to fundraisers tonight.
He achieved that significant accomplishment earlier today while vacationing in Florida on your dime.
This president and the people around him are convinced that God has anointed him to fix everything in one fell swoop. That's not how American politics work. That's not how life works.
This is a president who has become known, I think, to the public as a blamer.
He never makes any concessions. He always treats his opponents as though they're enemies.
We have a president who can never admit he's wrong. He's so insecure and vain at the same time.
He doesn't realize that the president has that power to set a tone and other people follow it.
What he's really trying to do is to divide the country and to get his people to turn out to vote.
He simply doesn't like being mocked. Maybe he's a little thin-skinned.
I've been saying, Mr. President, put your pants on. Sit at the table, man up.
Skip the trash talk. It only diminishes the office of the president.
If you want to work with somebody, you don't call them names.
This is a very quick and easy, cheap way to score political points, but it's a terrible, corrosive way for a president of the United States to govern a country.
Why don't you talk in an aspirational way to people and be more positive and more uplifting?
Mr. President, you need to stop acting like a schoolyard bully and start acting like the leader of the free world.
Mr. President, everyone is laughing at us. You're like a schoolyard bully. No one's afraid of you. Putin sure as hell isn't.
With all due respect, Mr. President, maybe it is time you stopped looking at a TV tuned to Fox and looked in a mirror tuned to, I don't know, you.
Thank you very much.
All right, there you go. Okay, so I'll ask this question. But I by the way, I can't stop laughing listening to those sound bites. Guess who they were talking about? No, they weren't talking about Donald Trump, although you can make the case. Every single one of those comments from every single one of those Fox News personalities, you can make the case they were talking about Donald Trump. No, they were talking about Barack Obama. That is laughable, and that is a joke. And that is the hypocrisy that we are living in today. All those people on the right that were saying all those negative things about Barack Obama, you could say word for word they were talking about Donald Trump, whether it's a schoolyard bully, so on and so forth. And don't you ever tell me that there's not a hypocrisy in the media. Don't you ever tell me that Obama wasn't attacked. Did you hear those sound bites? And that's why I bring up Laura Ingraham. And that's why I call her a racist. And that's why I bring up her attacking a rapper who was just murdered and going after him and his lyrics. And going after LeBron James, saying shut up and dribble. And going after a woman who has an accent who is in Congress. We need to call out racists and who they are. And yes, I truly believe Laura Ingraham is a disgusting racist, and I hope she gets fired. I really do. We'll open up the phone lines if you want to be a part of the discussion. We got plenty of other things in the news to be discussing, that's for sure. Open it up, 257-5396, if you want to be a part of the program. Do you guys disagree with me? Do you not think there's hypocrisy in the media? I just played you all those sound bites from Fox News. I just played you all those sound bites of people saying Barack Obama on Fox News, Barack Obama playing too much golf, he's a schoolyard bully, you know, he's kissing butt to Vladimir Putin. We could say the same thing about Donald Trump, but you don't hear them say that. That's the hypocrisy in the media today. Again, the number, if you want to be a part of the program, 257-5396. Let's start with Gary. Gary, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Hey, I just want to say I don't want to argue about Laura Ingraham, and I don't really know, but I know she has some adopted kids from Central America, and I don't know what that's all about. I'll get into that with you some other week, but I'll tell you, as a person that loves rock and roll, I hate Ted Nugent's music. What kind of song is I have you in a stranglehold, I'm going to smash your face? He sucks as far as he should be in Psycho movies in the background music. I don't know how. I hope he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Wait, hold on, Gary. You're talking about Ted Nugent's music? Is that because I'm confused? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't like his music.
Well, I don't like his music either. But I guess that's not the point. You know, I mean, I guess the point I was trying to make with Laura Ingraham is, you know, I didn't even know who Nipsey Hussle was until he was murdered, and then I learned, and it's sad, but then I learned so much about what a good human being he was, and how many good things he did for the community. And then after this guy passes away, and by the way, he didn't just pass away; he was murdered. Laura Ingraham decides to go on Fox News and attack
Laura
him.
Ingraham, how come she's an insensitive idiot? I don't know if she's
she is.
She can be an insensitive idiot.
She is.
But is she a racist? I don't know about that.
Well, what do you okay, let me ask you this, Gary. When she goes on Fox News and LeBron James is talking some trash about Donald Trump, which he has the right to do. Anyone can talk trash about Hillary Clinton or any Democrat. I don't have a problem with that. But there's a time and place to do it, right? What do you think of her when she goes on national television? She says, shut up and dribble. You don't think that's racist?
Because she subscribes to this theory that movie stars and sports people should shut up because they're not leaders and they interject their thoughts too much.
You don't think LeBron James is a leader? You don't think what he says is influential? You don't think what LeBron James says has influence on millions and millions of people throughout the world? I beg to differ. I say, and look, I wasn't a huge LeBron James fan for most of his career. The guy opens up a school and he saves lives. You're telling me LeBron James isn't a leader? I'll tell you one thing. He's hell more of a leader than Ted Nugent is.
Well,
he's a better leader.
Then Laura Ingraham is a goofball at times. I don't know about it being a racist. I don't want to argue about Laura Ingraham. I just want to say Ted Nugent's music sucks. But everything he says you disagree with, and I like that he sticks up for veterans and the Second Amendment, and I know you don't, but I like Ted Nugent.
I never said that, and Gary, I appreciate the call. I never said that Ted Nugent was a horrible human being. I never said that Ted Nugent shouldn't be allowed to go on Fox News or CNN. I never said that he shouldn't be allowed to share his opinions. I think everybody should be allowed to share their opinions. I absolutely do. 257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 257-5396. Let's go to Brian. Brian, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
So you believe everybody should be able to share their opinion? Then
Depends on the circumstance. Depends on the circumstance.
Dumping on Laura Ingraham, then?
I'll tell you why. I just said it depends on the circumstance. If somebody, let me give you an example. If Laura Ingraham was murdered today, God forbid, I wouldn't trash her tomorrow, okay? There's a time and a place to do it, and it's called being sensitive, okay? Laura Ingraham, I agree with Gary, who just called in, who said she's a goofball. She's not sensitive. You think it's appropriate, Brian, for Laura Ingraham, who I guarantee you had no idea who Nipsey Hussle was, and I didn't either.
Just like you didn't, and just like I didn't.
Right, and I guarantee, so she...
The only person I know that knows who Nipsey Hussle was my niece, who posts on Facebook. Brian, I wouldn't have known who the heck he was.
But let's be honest here. And I said that for a reason, and I'm being honest with you. I didn't know who he was either. And then I learned a little bit about his history and how many people he's helped in his community, going back to the neighborhood where he grew up. And he was brutally murdered. This was a good man. Without a rap sheet.
Yeah, it was a gang killing.
Yeah, he was a good man, okay? And you think it is fair?
I don't know if I would say he's a good man.
Do you know how many
things? He did some bad things, like all people do, okay? He's no saint.
Has he ever?
Let me ask you a question.
What did he do?
Did you actually watch the piece on the Laura Ingraham show?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It lasted all of 30 seconds.
It could last 2 seconds. I don't care.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is that this man was just murdered, and she goes on Fox News attacking his lyrics and attacking him after he was just murdered. Okay, I'm sorry.
She wasn't attacking him. She was attacking his song lyrics.
Why? Why would you do that a week after the man was murdered? That's the point I'm trying to make. She's not sensitive.
Talking about here. And yet that's his great song, F Donald Trump, right?
Okay, fine. So if she had a problem with that and it was such a big deal, why didn't she talk about it when he was alive? Why did she wait till after he was murdered?
Because like you and me, nobody knew who the hell he was.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is that it's timing of it, the timing of everything. She waits until after this man was murdered, and then she goes after him. I think it had something to do with the color of his skin. That's what I think. I think Laura Ingram's a racist.
You're wrong on that, just like you were wrong on the LeBron James thing.
Really? So she can go on TV and say, shut up and dribble when it comes to LeBron James.
I told you this a long time ago. She wrote a book called Shut Up and Sing.
I don't
care.
And
what the book is about, we don't give a damn what LeBron James or
you don't give a damn.
Or anybody else
no, you don't.
About politics.
Excuse me.
They have their own views. I have my views.
Okay, that's fine.
That was why she wrote the book.
You don't give a damn. Laura Ingraham doesn't give a damn. There are millions of kids and millions of adults throughout the world that do give a damn. So you are 100% wrong, my friend. Let me tell you the hypocrisy. And I just played all those clips.
Why are you bringing up Barack Obama? He's no longer president.
What you
do with us?
What are you talking about?
Every time when you're beating Trump about the head and neck.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about right now? What is that?
Barack Obama.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about now?
Barack Obama's not president anymore.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about now? I'm talking to you about
a lengthy clip
about
Fox News attacking Barack Obama.
Because I'm talking about the hypocrisy. I'm talking about media and hypocrisy when it comes to Laura Ingraham. It is factual right here what I'm talking about.
How about hypocrisy with Brian Shapiro?
Really, what's the hypocrisy? You tell me. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. I'm honest. I'm about to go off on Elizabeth Warren. Please tell me the hypocrisy of this show. Please tell me.
You just called somebody a racist.
Absolutely.
And you're damn wrong.
Absolutely.
About it. And
so let me ask you a question.
Flimsy. Flimsy. Innuendo at best.
Okay, well, let me explain to you why I think she's a racist, and maybe you can.
I know why, Brian. You've done this 2 or 3 times.
Well, I want to get your answer then, because clearly it's not getting through to you. She has people like Ted Nugent. Okay, she has white athletes on her show that are on the right, and she lets them speak. She doesn't say to Kurt Schilling, "Shut up and pitch." She never said to Ted Nugent, "Shut up and play the guitar." But when it comes to LeBron James, she says, "Shut up and dribble." Please tell me why. Give me that explanation.
She has a lot of black people on her show. Did you not know that?
Give me the last African American she had on her show that. Give me the last African American that was on her show that dislikes Donald Trump and trashed Donald Trump, please. I'll wait. Thank you. Okay, Brian, I got to go now. Thank you very much. I think I win, you lose. 257-5396. The number to call again, 702-257-5396. I guess that's one of those things where, silence is bliss. Ron, you're next on the Vegas Take. What's up?
Hey, Brian?
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Hey, how are you? My second favorite. Hey, it's Ron.
What's up, Ron? What's going on?
I am serious, Brian. I cannot tell the difference between you and Ron. I have to listen to you guys talk and actually say your name before I call in to know who I was talking about.
Well, we have very different political views, Ron. But what do you think about this Laura Ingraham stuff? Am I wrong?
You know what? No, I do disagree with you, but I think you're right about what she said. You know, I mean, it's the heart. You know that, right? It's about the heart, whether you're racist or not. But I really think she is a dumbo. I really do.
I do
and
too.
that was not the thing to say.
You know what, Ron? And I don't even know if she's dumb. I mean, I don't know if she's dumb. I think she just.
I think she is.
Well, you might be right. I don't know. But I mean, she's done pretty well for herself in her career. I think she's extremely insensitive. And I'm going to go as far as to say I believe she's a racist because I gave reasons for it. Right? When she tells LeBron James to shut up and dribble and Ted Nugent comes on her show, she doesn't say shut up and play the guitar.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair because you do have your opinion. And I don't think you – I listen to you every day. I mean, even though we're at opposites – I've never heard you say you don't have a right to your opinion. And
everybody has a right to an opinion, and we have a right to attack somebody's opinion. Laura Ingraham,
exactly.
Yeah, but here's the difference, though, and people are calling out Laura Ingraham and want her to be fired. Here's the difference, though. You have a responsibility. For example, and I just said it, if somebody on the right that I think is a buffoon, or the left, was brutally murdered, God forbid, I wouldn't attack them the next day on their policies. I wouldn't do that. You know why? Because it's not the right thing to do. If something happened to Donald Trump, God forbid, or something happened to Melania or somebody in their family, I would not choose the next day to go after the Trump family. I wouldn't do that.
That's
because,
absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful.
Exactly.
It's disrespectful.
It's beyond disrespectful.
Can I ask you one question, though?
Sure. Go ahead.
I know this is outside of the point, but on the two presidents, I mean, I do like Trump, but it doesn't matter. I mean, like you said, everybody has their own opinions.
Yep.
There's some bad, I'm not going to say the word that Trump has did, but there's also, which is division.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Barack has divided us too. When he was in office, he had divided us with.
Look, I know what you're going to say, Ron, and I've been very consistent with this. I think he divided us racially. I think that was his worst point of the 8 years that he was president. I think he hurt us racially, Ron. It's good. It's good to hear from you. I appreciate the call, and certainly I am not an Obama defender. I am certainly not a Hillary Clinton defender. But, as far as Laura Ingraham goes, yeah, I think she's an absolute clown, and I believe she's a racist. The number to call, 257-5396. Again, the number, 257-5396. Tim, you are next. Tim, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. What's on your mind?
Yeah, you're calling her a racist, but did you know she used to date Jimmy Walker from Good Times?
You're talking about Jimmy J.J. Walker? Is that who you're talking about?
Correct.
So because you date an African-American, that means there's no chance you could be a racist? Just like if an African-American dates a white person, there's no chance they could be racist? Is that the point you're trying to make?
Now you're backpedaling.
What do you mean? You just made that comment. You said, well, she dated a black person, so there's no chance she could be. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know people, unfortunately, they're not friends of mine, but I know people that are racist that have dated women that are African-American and vice versa. I'm not friends with them, but I know of them. Absolutely.
That's hard to believe.
How is that hard to believe? You're telling me in the history of the world, if you're a white person...
No, I'm not telling you in the history of the world. I'm telling you about it on this case and on the cases you're talking about.
So I'm giving you facts, okay? Things that she said on her show.
Too.
But your fact doesn't make any sense. You're saying just because she dated Jimmy J.J. Walker, that must mean she doesn't have an ounce of racism in her body, and I completely disagree with that premise.
Okay, you're okay to believe that.
Yeah, I'm going by the things that she's... Okay, so Tim, let me ask you a question then. Since you think that because she dated Dynamite Jimmy J.J. Walker, who, by the way, lives here in Vegas, he's a very funny guy. I've seen him...
Yeah, you need to call him and ask him, didn't he date her?
But I don't care if he dated her. Are you not getting my point? We just had this discussion. You want to go over this again? I don't understand the point you're trying to make. Because somebody dates an opposite race, that totally... Let me tell you something. There have been KKK members that have dated African Americans. Are you unaware of that?
Oh, come on now.
What do you mean, oh, come on? What do you mean, oh, come on? I guarantee you there have been KKK members that have dated African Americans at some point in their life. Really? Would you like to make a bet on that? Really? Really? Would you? David Duke. David Duke is on record as saying that he has had sexual relations with African American women. He is on record 20 years ago in saying that. Okay, well look it up.
He'll do anything to get a rise out of the media.
So he's lying.
Yeah, he's a liar.
So are you an African American, Tim?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. You're the perfect person to ask this question. Laura Ingraham has Ted Nugent on her show. She has Kurt Schilling, plenty of white athletes on her show. When it comes to LeBron James and his comments about Donald Trump, she says, shut up and dribble. She's also made fun of a woman's accent who happens to be in Congress. And now when it comes to Nipsey Hussle, who was brutally murdered, who has done so many wonderful things for his community, days after he's murdered, she decides to go after his lyrics. What do you think about that, being an African-American, Tim?
Well, it's all for ratings, just like when you...
Does that make it okay?
Trump. And
when have I ever said anything racist on this show? When have I ever said anything racist on this show? I have never done anything like that before.
You do other stuff for ratings.
Okay, so what have I done that...
in the same category.
So what? No, it doesn't. So what have I done on this show that would lead you to that line that Laura Ingraham has crossed? Please, I'd love to hear.
Well, not that particularly, but you've done stuff for ratings.
Be specific, please. What have I done that you consider inappropriate?
Just the other day, somebody called in and said that they knew somebody that you knew personally, and they said that you do like Trump. But on your radio, you do just the opposite.
Well, okay, so how is that inappropriate?
That call?
Yeah, I do. That's incorrect. I've never voted for Donald Trump. We're having a disagreement on somebody who's calling in that's saying something that's not factually accurate, and you're saying that is inappropriate?
That you know personally.
No, they don't. I have no idea who that person is that called in. No clue. And anybody, by the way, Tim.
They know.
No.
They were talking to people.
What does that
you
have
know
to?
Personally.
I'm asking you for something specific. What have I done inappropriate? How is that inappropriate? Somebody called in. I disagree with them. How is that?
I'm not saying that you've done anything inappropriate. I'm saying you do stuff for ratings just like Ingram does.
All
of them do it.
Ingram does racist things, and she says racist things.
Shock value.
What have I done that's inappropriate? I'm still waiting. So somebody calls in and says they know me and they think I support Donald Trump, which, by the way, isn't true. I'm waiting for you to say something that you think is over the line or close to over the line that's inappropriate. We got 30 seconds left. I've asked you the same question 5 times.
No, we don't got to talk about inappropriate. I'm talking about for ratings. That's
so
what
it's okay.
Doing.
So it's okay to be okay. Fine, Tim. All right, I gave you a chance here. So according to Tim, it's okay to be racist for ratings. According to Tim, it's okay to do things that are completely over the line and go after a rapper days after he died. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The guy just died, and she decides to attack him for his lyrics. That's okay because according to Tim, it's for ratings. And he says I do the same stuff for ratings, and I asked the question 6 times, what have I done that has ever been inappropriate? Notice how he couldn't give me an answer? If you're going to come at me with something, you better have facts to back it up. I try to do that on this show. We're going to take a quick break. More of your calls. 257-5396 is the number to call. We'll be back right after this. You are listening to The Vegas Take. All right, welcome back. It is The Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. Glad you could join us. By the way, late addition to the show coming up in hour number 2. World Series of Poker champion, arguably one of the best, if not the best poker player in the world for the last 20 years. Daniel Negreanu is going to be joining us coming up in hour number 2. He is a huge Vegas Golden Knights fan, and he is just a wealth of knowledge. As good of a poker player he is, I think he's just as good as far as his knowledge goes with the NHL. He's going to be joining us previewing Game 6 of the Vegas Golden Knights. So we just had a gentleman who called up last segment, and I'm talking about Laura Ingraham, and I'm calling her out because I believe she's a racist. He said she just does it for ratings. And then he made a really weird, just a really weird point. He said because Laura Ingraham dated Jimmy J.J. Walker, she can't be racist. And a friend of mine, Chris Wynn, who's a friend of the show, sends me a text, and he's so absolutely right. And this is an extreme case. Slave owners back in the day had sex with their slaves. That's just truth. Does that mean that these slave owners weren't racist? I mean, that's how dumb that comment was in the last. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, the number to call, 257-5396. We got a lot of other important subjects to get to. 257-5396. Lynn has been waiting patiently on hold. Lynn, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Hi. No, I just wanted to say that I didn't think Laura Ingraham was being racist by telling a basketball player to just, I don't even know exactly what you said.
She said, shut up and dribble, yes.
Shut up and dribble. When
yes.
you talk about the other people she had on her show, well, they agree with her.
So here's
them to shut up. But I mean,
right. Well, that's my point.
Nugent was on I don't even know. Don Lemon's show.
Do you think
he told them to go shut up and play guitar?
But they didn't. And Don Lemon would never say that. And I've never heard anybody on CNN talk about.
Oh my gosh, CNN.
So give me an example then. Give me an example of an entertainer or a sports figure and somebody on MSNBC or CNN that has said shut up and sing or shut up and dribble or shut up and pitch. Can you please give me one example?
Please give you one example.
Please.
Well, considering I really don't watch them that often.
Well, you're laughing and you're calling me crazy for saying that, and then you can't give me one example?
No, all I did was call to say that I don't believe that is what makes a person racist.
How about when an African American is gunned down, shot, and killed, a good man who has done so much for his community, and Laura Ingraham, days after Nipsey Hussle was murdered, decides to attack him and go after his lyrics? What do you think about that?
Well, what are in his lyrics? I don't know this person.
So what does it matter what's in his lyrics? He said some bad things about Donald Trump.
If he says vulgar things,
so that's the appropriate time? No, he doesn't say vulgar things about women. You think that's
Do you not remember when Barbara Bush passed away? The horrible, horrible tweets that came out from.
I'm not talking about tweets. I'm talking about somebody who is in the media that is on a national television show, and I'm asking you to cite me specific examples. I'm giving you a specific example as the host. Laura Ingraham, days after Nipsey Hussle was murdered, decided to go after him. She's never mentioned his name before that, but after he's murdered, she decides to go after him. She decides to go after LeBron James, tells him to shut up and dribble. She makes fun of a woman's accent who is not from this country that is in Congress. This is not.
So as opposed to the entertainers who make fun of Melania.
We're not talking about entertainers. We're talking about people on the news. Laura,
she is an opinion show.
So you're okay with it?
I don't think she's a racist because she told a basketball player to dribble.
That's not the only thing that I am citing. I just cited a couple other examples. She has a history.
Making fun of the way someone speaks, mimicking them.
So that's okay? You're okay with that? You teach your children to do that?
No, of course not.
Okay, so why are you defending her then? Why are you defending this woman who's on a national television show?
I just don't know why that is cause for attack.
So you just mocked CNN and MSNBC. You're certainly not a fan of theirs. You seem to, even though you claim you don't watch a lot of CNN, you seem to go after them. Why is it you go after CNN and MSNBC, but when it comes to Fox News and Laura Ingraham, you seem to? I'll tell you what I think the answer is. I think it's because you're on the right, and I think you're biased. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
Yes. Honestly, I am even more conservative than that. But
what a
those
shocker!
Are opinion shows.
What a shocker! I appreciate the call, Lynn, but your bias is oozing out of your mouth. 257-5396 is the number to call. 702-257-5396. It's funny when people disagree with me. I ask them to cite specific examples, and they just don't know what to say. They don't know. They fumble. 257-5396. Let's go to Chuck. Chuck, what's on your mind?
Hey, there's no way you think that Laura Ingraham is racist. Jeez, are you kidding me?
Okay, let me respond to that and say nothing I have ever said on this show. I don't make stuff up. Whatever I say on this show, Chuck, you could disagree with me. I don't have a problem with that. Never have I ever said anything in radio in 20 years that I didn't truly believe. I am more honest than anyone else in this town on the radio. I'm not biased one way or the other. I speak my mind when it comes to anything. It could be politics, news, sports. Doesn't mean you're going to agree with me on anything, and I don't want, quite frankly, I don't want all my listeners to agree with me because that would be a boring show. But never have I ever said anything that I didn't actually truly believe. Yes, I think Donald Trump is a scumbag. Yes, I think Laura Ingraham is a racist. I absolutely believe that.
How is...
Hello?
In your eyes.
Can you? You must be on an Obama phone because you broke out there. Can you please repeat?
No.
What? Repeat.
How is she a racist in your eyes?
Okay. Have you not been listening to the show? I gave several examples why I think she's a racist. Do you want me to repeat them so you can hear them again?
Man, you know, your caller the other day got you just right. You know, he said that you and JD just play good cop, bad cop. And there's no way that you are so biased on the left-hand side of things. There's no way.
Why am I biased on the left-hand side of things? Why am I biased? Why am I biased? Because I don't like Donald Trump, I'm biased? Maybe you're biased, Chuck. You're biased.
No, I'm not biased.
Okay, well, guess what, Chuck? Well, no, now I'm going to tell you how it is. I voted for the left.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I voted to the left and I voted to the right. Why don't you be quiet and listen and let me educate you? I voted to the left. I voted to the right. I attacked. Excuse me. Learn to listen. I've attacked Democrats. I've attacked Republicans. Chucky. Your movies suck. Chucky 1, 2, and 3 were some of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Goodbye, Chuck. Chucky. Goodbye. Although I like the Raiders coach. I like John Gruden. 257-5396 is the number to call. 257-5396. Let's go to Johnny. Johnny, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
What's up? First of all, her name's Laura Ingraham, is it not?
Laura Ingraham is her name. It's not Laura Ingraham. It's Laura
like
Ingraham.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I call her Laura Bungram, but hey, babe. Babe. So anyway, like, I know. Look, dude, my brother knows you like Trump. He's the one that called the other day.
I have no idea who your brother is.
Smacked it. You don't like because he's the scummy things he did, but you love his policies. But you
no, I don't.
Make fires.
No, I don't.
You make fires to get people.
No, I don't. No, it's not true. I'm going to give you a couple examples to prove that you're wrong of some policies that I don't like. Would you like to hear them?
I would love to.
Okay, transgenders in the military. Trump doesn't want transgenders in the military.
Like, do you really care? Like, you really care? You're not a tranny.
So because I'm not a tranny, I shouldn't care about others?
I mean,
are you that insensitive, or are you just calling in to be an idiot? Yes or no? Would you like to have
I'm actually brilliant.
Okay, well, would you like to have a serious conversation, or are you just going to be a clown? Because I'm trying to answer. Okay, good. So I'm trying to answer.
I don't understand why you're protecting trannies all the time.
I'm not. I protect. Excuse me. Are you going to let me? You asked me a question about policy.
Okay,
I'm giving you an answer. Okay. It's not about protecting trannies. It's about protecting human beings. Okay. Just because I don't care what you have between your legs. If you're a hero and you're risking your life to serve this country, I don't care what's between your legs. You should have a right to it. And by the way, our commander in chief, okay, he's a coward. Yeah. Remember the bone spurs? Okay, his alleged bone spurs. He is a coward.
That's bone spurs.
Excuse me. That's one.
He never had bone spurs. Those are fake bone spurs, like fake news.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Johnny. That's another reason. You just made my point for me. I'll give you another one. How about tax breaks for the rich, okay? Someone who is making $40,000 a year is paying a higher percentage on taxes than a billionaire. I disagree with that policy, so I could give you more, but it'll take the whole show.
Like Trump, dude. We gamble as much as you do. We know who you are.
I have no idea what you're talking. Okay, so why don't you? Okay, so who is it that? So you know my voting record? Is that what you're saying? You know my voting record? You know my voting record? So because you sat with me, because you sat with me at the poker table, you know my voting record? What kind of clown are you? You call into a show just to get me riled up? Is that what you're doing? You are an idiot. That's what you are, Johnny. You are a moron, and I hope you lose all your money at the poker table. What do you think about that? You sound like a horrific poker player, and you are an idiot. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. Just because you sat with me at the poker table, you think I like Trump? By the way, I've never said... Let me be on the record with Donald Trump. And again, I'm going to be as honest as I can be. And by the way, the number to call, 257-5396, if you want to be a part of the show, 702-257-5396. Let me be as clear as I can when it comes to Donald Trump. The man is entertaining. The man is a ratings getter. CNN, MSNBC, they might not admit this, but they secretly want Donald Trump most likely to win in 2020. Why? Because they get ratings, because it equals money. Now, I'll speak personally about myself. The one thing I like about Donald Trump is that he gives me something to talk about. Says something stupid on a daily basis. He's entertaining. He gets people riled up. He certainly gets me riled up. It's good for what we do. It's good for the media. It's good for TV. It's good for radio. As far as personally what I think about the man, I think he's a disgrace. He's a liar. He is a scumbag. He is no better than a used, cheat car salesman. Anyone who goes after POWs, and when they've already passed on, he's done that as well. You go after somebody like that, that should have disqualified you to run for president, as far as I'm concerned. The way he's treated women, his record with women, the things he says on a regular basis, how thin-skinned he is, he acts like a child. Those are many reasons why I do not like Donald Trump. Am I happy that unemployment numbers are down? Absolutely. Am I happy that the economy is doing well? Absolutely. But at what cost? At what cost do you stand up there with Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Putin and make an ass of yourself? Because that's what he's done. And I'll go on the other side on this one. Okay, I don't agree with Elizabeth Warren. You know, she's calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump. I don't agree with that, because I don't think it's going to work. If Congress wants to look into possible obstruction, I suppose I don't have a problem with that, but you have to get 2/3 of the vote to get this guy impeached, and I just think it's a waste of time. I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm not an Elizabeth Warren fan. I'll tell you somebody who I do respect, and that's Mitt Romney. I've always respected Mitt Romney. Don't always agree with his policies, but I think he's a decent man. He said today that it was good news that there was insufficient evidence to charge President Trump with conspiracy or obstruction. But he also said that he was dismayed with the pervasiveness of dishonesty and misdirection, which I agree with, of Trump. He also said he was pleased with the business of government. And he went on to say, even so, he said, I'm sickened. That's the term he used, Mitt Romney. Sickened at the extent of lying, dishonesty, and misdirection by individuals in the highest office of the land, which includes the President of the United States. He said, reading this report is a sobering revelation of how far we have strayed from the aspirations and principles of the founders. Could not agree more with Mitt Romney. The number to call, 257-5396. Let's go to Scott. Scott, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. How are you, Scott?
Good. Hey, Brian, who's that guy that usually calls in your show and he's always tuned up and he's got a heater on? You know which guy I'm talking about? He might have already called in. He's always drunk.
Would it be Gary? Gary's a regular. Yeah, Gary. Yeah.
I'm convinced that, and the Democratic Party needs to realize this, there are tens, if not hundreds of thousands of Garys out there right now drinking their 12 packs of Old Milwaukee, sitting back saying Trump's a good old boy. How are the Dems going to appeal to that voter? Because those people do vote.
That's a good question, and I think
you know what I mean? There are guys right now in Iowa sipping on their beer, their 12th beer, and they're saying, "Oh, he's a good old boy." They got to go get those guys.
What they have to do. That's a good point, Scott. I think first of all, I'm not a big fan of many of the candidates on the left that are running for president. So let's just start there. I don't think they have great candidates. Number one. Number two. You have to come up with policy. You have to come up with things that make sense. Not $15 an hour minimum wage, not free college for all, not this Green Deal. And I think we lost Scott. That's what you have to do. You have to come up with better policy. And I'm not sure the Democrats are doing that right now, quite frankly. And I think that's a big part of it. That's a good question, Scott. And we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But I've been on the record as saying I do think Donald Trump will win re-election in 2020. I know it might be a little early to make that opinion, but I'm going to say it right now. 257-5396. Let's go to Megan. Megan, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
I will keep it short and sweet. 3 words to describe the quality of caliber of callers tonight. Full moon tonight, and I'll leave it at that.
All right. That's fair, Megan. That's fair. You don't have anything else to add to that?
Nope.
All right, fair enough, Megan. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for calling in. Look, I enjoy taking calls from people on both sides, people that agree, people that disagree. And by the way, I'm not on a side. I'm just not a big Donald Trump guy. I'm not a big Elizabeth Warren guy. There's a lot of people in politics I don't like. And there's some people that I respect. I just named Mitt Romney as one of them. Yes, I do respect Mitt Romney. 257-5396. Let's go to Chris. Chris, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Hey, happy Friday there, brother.
Thank you, Chris. What's up, man?
Hey, you better get used to it because come 2020, your show will be probably a number one show, and it'll all be due to good old Uncle Trump.
Well, I'm not going to deny that, Chris. Trump certainly helps me with material, and I've said that. I've been pretty consistent on that, right? The guy's entertaining, right? He says a lot of dumb things, and I enjoy talking about it, quite frankly.
I love him, man. I think he's probably one of the best presidents we ever had.
Well, that's a bit of a stretch.
You can have your opinion about that, but guess what? My 401k's up 16%.
Well,
and that's all I care about, brother.
Well,
my money,
okay.
my money. I don't care about taking care of some freaks over at the border because they don't belong here anyway.
Wait, hold on. Did you just call people going through the border freaks?
Yeah, they're freaks.
Don't you think that's a little bit racist?
You can call me what you want. I can call you a punk, but that doesn't mean.
Well, that doesn't bother me at all. But well,
there you go.
You have to come up. You have to come up with a reason, though. Why am I? You just called Chris. Hold on. Let's have a conversation here. With all due respect, you just said illegals that cross the border are freaks. Now, that's why I'm saying that could be construed as racist. You call me a punk. Why? Because I dislike Donald Trump?
No, I just think you're a punk.
And why? Why? Give me a reason. I just gave you a reason.
It's just as bad
Okay,
as the race.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Chris. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Chris. You just won a prize, Chris. I'm going to send you your white cape and outfit through the mail. What do you think about that?
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I will.
Have David
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll have Donald Trump sign it for you too, Chris. Thanks for calling in. 257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 702-257-5396. When last caller called in and said it was a full moon tonight, I think those are the type of calls she was talking about. Let's go to Marge. Marge, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. What's on your mind?
Hi. As far as Elizabeth Warren, she was kind of taking a wait-and-see attitude all along. In fact, she started this up, back in, 2017, 2018, something like that, where she was talking about impeachment. And I think she's going to use this as, one of her angles for, the campaign. Mitt Romney, though, I always viewed him as a gentleman.
I agree.
And, he talked about Russia back when he was going against Obama, and everybody kind of laughed at him in a way. He and Trump have had this long, feud or whatever, and I think he's still mad because, Rex Tillerson got the Secretary of State spot. So, he's got his own personal. But I think he's absolutely right.
Yeah, Marge, let me ask you this. What do you think about a guy who is a Trump supporter who calls illegals crossing the border freaks? What would you call somebody like that?
I'm too much of a lady to say the word.
Yeah, I'm not a gentleman, as you can tell. I just talk like it is. I just think there are just so many idiots out there that are so racist, and I think Laura Ingraham is one of them.
Well, Laura, to me, I don't know. I've tried to listen to her on radio. I mean, she was on your station. I've tried to watch her, and she leaves me cold. There's no substance with her. I know she's educated. She's a lawyer. She was involved with the Supreme Court, but there's something missing with her, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
I try to put my finger on it, Marge, and quite frankly, based on her history and the things she said, not just when it comes to LeBron James, but this Nipsey Hussle story, comments she's made about people in Congress that have accents. She has a history of being insensitive, and I am going to go as far as to call her a racist, Marge. And
she's part of that Washington Insiders Group.
I agree.
And everybody that's outside of it doesn't count, basically. They're too superior.
I agree.
And I think that's part of her nature, quite honestly. I think she's just imbued with it.
I couldn't agree with you more, Marge, and it's always good to hear from you. I appreciate the phone call. I'm up against a hard break, so I got to let you go. We got a couple other callers on hold. I want to get to them immediately when we come back. We got Warren on hold. We got Chris on hold. We got John. We got Matt on hold. We'll get to all your calls when we get back. We're going to take a quick break. We'll get to all the calls on the other side. You're listening to the Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDWN. All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro, glad you could join us. A reminder, world-renowned poker player Danny Negreanu will be joining us in about 25 minutes. He's a huge hockey fan, knows everything and anything about the Vegas Golden Knights, so we'll be previewing Game 6. Which will be on Sunday with Danny coming up in about 25 minutes or so. By the way, Donald Trump put out a tweet, and I started reading it, and I started to agree with him. He starts out this tweet by saying, big fat waste of time, energy, and money. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, is he talking about himself? I think we finally agree on something. No, but he was talking about the Robert Mueller investigation. I thought he was talking about himself. He's big, he's fat, he's a waste of time, energy, and money. Maybe I'm just not being fair. I don't know. 257-5396, the number to call, and we're talking about Elizabeth Warren asking for impeachment, which I disagree with. I'm not an Elizabeth Warren fan for a lot of reasons, including the fact of her .00001 heritage, using that to her advantage. I thought that was absolutely disgusting. I do not like Elizabeth Warren, and she has no chance of becoming the next president. So for all you Republicans out there, don't worry about that. And then on Good Morning America today with George Stephanopoulos, Sarah Sanders was on there dancing around the fact that she lied and admitted to lying in the Robert Mueller report. We're talking about all those subjects, and we'll get to the phone calls now. 257-5396. Chris, thank you for waiting patiently on hold. What's on your mind?
So I just wanted to be another Chris who called in who doesn't agree with the last one, right, on immigration. And my biggest thing is Donald Trump, for all his goods, for all his bads, he is a regular person, I think, sometimes. So the things he says is no different than probably a lot of us have said.
I disagree.
In the privacy of our friends.
I disagree.
We can disagree, but...
Can I tell you why, Chris? Can I tell you why? First of all, I don't know a lot of people that were handed over a $500 million company. I don't know a lot of trust fund babies like Donald Trump. I also never heard. I played a couple sports in college, played 4 sports in high school. I've been in a lot of locker rooms. I never heard anybody. I've heard people say crude things, but I've never heard anybody say grab him by the pee. So no, I have to disagree with you, Chris. I don't think he's a normal everyday guy. I think he's very different than a lot of people that I hang out with.
Okay, so I mean, I think you're taking maybe I'm not being clear. You're taking it a little bit out of context. I don't mean everything he says.
Okay,
but I mean,
I got you.
All I'm saying is there's a big difference between politicians who say a lot of stuff right to your face that are lying, and that's probably 95% of them, including Donald Trump. My
I agree.
Is that he does come across a little more of okay, so maybe not a regular person would be fair, but I guess my point would be he doesn't hide behind anything he's done or said. Why
is he hiding behind his taxes? Why won't he release his tax returns?
You know, I agree with you. I think every person in government should release their taxes. We're in agreement there.
Why did he try to convince people in his cabinet to tell Rosenstein to lie? Why does he tell people to lie? Why did he fire James Comey? Why did he get rid of Sessions? Why did he want to get rid of Robert Mueller? If he doesn't have anything to hide, why did he want to do these things?
Yeah, so the part of the issue here is he does want to have people that are aligned with him, right? Like while they may not be there to do all of his bidding, he does want to have people that he feels is aligned with his beliefs. I think that's some of the problem he had there with Jeff Sessions. In the recusal, I don't think Jeff Sessions should have recused himself. Once he did, it was too late.
Okay, but I guess there's. I understand what you're saying, Chris, but I guess there's a difference between aligned with your beliefs and then wanting you to, to obstruct justice. I think those are two very, very different, definitive things. And in the Robert Mueller report, he said there was at least 10 instances of possible. Where that was possible. So I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Those are two different things. There's nothing wrong with wanting people in your cabinet that are aligned with your beliefs, but that's different. That's different.
Let me leave it with 2 things. Just 2 things. Not to bring up Hillary Clinton, but I'm going to. I think it's a little, and you knew I had to. Right? It's just a little unfair. I think that she has very clear. So I spent 20 years in the Air Force. I'm a retired Air Force officer.
Thank you for your service, my friend. We appreciate it. Yes.
But the one most horrific thing that she did was her top secret emails on her server.
I'm not going to defend that. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I think I don't like Hillary Clinton. I very rarely have ever said anything nice about. I mean, I've said more nice things about Bill than Hillary. Let's put it that way.
I honestly didn't. I think Bill Clinton with Newt Gingrich did a lot of good for the country. I think that was a pairing that did very, very well. And though I'm a lifelong Republican, but my last thing would be is Donald Trump was right in the fact that all this stuff that they had on him and tried to pump up in the investigation, there was a lot of bull up front. They knew it was. They knew why they did it, and you're going to uncover dirt if you go up for 95% of anyone in government, you're going to dig up dirt. You look hard enough. So that's just kind of par for the course a little bit. I just think it's just frustrating that at this point, I wish it would just kind of go away. They're not going to obstruct, right? They can say it looks like
that's not necessarily. I understand what you're saying, Chris, and I appreciate the phone call. But again, Robert Mueller did not exonerate Donald Trump. That's Robert Mueller, and I think he is an honorable man, and I actually think he did a very, very good job. He left it to Congress to decide. Let's let Congress decide that, and once they make that decision, then we can move on. I don't necessarily disagree with everything he said, and I am certainly not going to defend Hillary Clinton. I never have, and I never will. Let's go to Warren. Warren, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind, Warren?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, Warren. What's up?
Well, I don't listen to the show that often, but I have to say something. I don't understand. I'm going to be honest up front. I'm a Republican and I'm conservative. That doesn't mean I'm closed-minded.
Okay.
What I don't like is the constant obstruction. This and that. There's not, Mueller. First of all, he should have never. If he did something, if the guy was guilty, he's guilty. If he's not guilty, you
not
stay
true.
out.
Not true. You don't understand the law. That's not true. Okay. Here's the thing. If he said there was obstruction. He didn't want, it's in the report, Warren. If he said there was obstruction, he felt that Donald Trump would not have a chance in court to defend himself. And that's why he said he wasn't exonerated.
What is the obstruction? What did he do that was so bad?
There are at least 10 things in the report, okay, that describe it.
Name me one.
Okay, sure. James Comey saying that he was going to fire James Comey because of the Russian investigation. Telling people I'll give you another one. Telling people and by the way, this is according to the Mueller report. This isn't my opinion. Telling people in his cabinet to have Rosenstein do a press conference and lie. Those are two huge issues. And by the way, there's many more.
Comey should never even been there to begin with.
That's an opinion, okay? I'm giving you a fact.
Opinion. The guy. Come on,
Don't say come on. I just gave you a couple examples.
No, but all right. Let me just put it this way to you.
Okay.
I listen to all of this all the time. Comey, Brennan, Clapper. What happened in this country? I don't care if you hate Trump, love him, Republican, Democrat, liberal. He was the duly elected president. This whole
nobody's going to argue that, of course.
It goes back to Clinton with that dossier and everything. This thing should have never started to begin with. Whether Trump is right, guilty or not, this whole investigation was never...
Wait, whoa. I cannot believe what you just said. You just said whether Trump is guilty or not, the investigation should have never happened. So if somebody murders somebody on the street, we shouldn't arrest them. Whether they're guilty or not, we shouldn't open up an investigation. Warren, what the hell are you talking about?
But yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
You just said I'm just going by your words. You just said whether Trump is guilty or not, this investigation should have never happened. Do you realize how ridiculous that comment is?
Oh, you know what? You know what's ridiculous is the reason it started.
You just said it doesn't matter whether he's guilty or not, and you're telling me what's ridiculous?
No, well, I'm not stupid. I'm very smart, actually.
So it doesn't matter whether he's guilty or not. Should have never opened up an investigation. Doesn't matter whether he obstructed. Doesn't matter whether there was collusion. I understand that there wasn't collusion, but the comment you just made makes positively, utterly no sense. You're not making sense, Warren. I'm sure you're a smart guy, but maybe you just decided not to be smart calling into the show. 257-5396 is the number to call. I appreciate the phone call. 257-5396. Don, you're next. What's up, Don?
Hey, how you doing? First-time caller.
What's up? Thanks, Don. What's on your mind?
Well, I agree. I don't agree with the last guy. There should have been an investigation for the Russian involvement.
Right.
Yes, I agree with that. The second half of his volume, where he talks about obstruction, I really don't care. I just want us to get past this and get our government moving again.
So let me. Okay, can I? I understand, Don, what you're saying. Let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you a question, Don. Let's talk about this. So if he's telling Rosenstein and other people to lie, and he fires Comey or wants to fire Comey because of an investigation that involves him, you don't have a problem with the president doing that? It's a tough question.
I understand what you're saying too, but on the same token, though.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess we're going to disagree on that one.
I'm just saying that we need to just get past this and get on with government.
But Don, don't you think we need it? This is the highest job, not just in this country, but I'm sure you would imagine in the world, right? Shouldn't we put this job at a higher standard? Look, I think all politicians.
All right, on the same token, if you're going to put that, then when you're talking like even with Barack Obama, all right.
But we're not talking
about the first time. Hold on, let me finish. I voted for Barack Obama the first time.
Yes.
I'm a registered Democrat.
Yes.
When he went out and did his apology tour,
yes.
I began to dislike Barack Obama.
I'm not an Obama defender.
All right.
I'm not an Obama defender, but two wrongs don't make a right.
Barack Obama did do some things that were just is wrong, as what Trump has done.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
You look through all history of all politicians. They're all crooked.
So, okay, I would say the majority of politicians are out for themselves. I agree, Don. But please give me one example of something Barack Obama did that you think obstructed justice, or he told somebody to lie, or he lied. Please give me an example.
You will not have to change your health care. You will not have to change your
Certainly, that was a huge mistake that he made. Now, I don't know what his intent was.
That wasn't out and out lied to get the public to try to get behind it.
And if that is the case, and I don't know if that's the case, Don, but if that is the case, then he was absolutely 100% wrong. I think he did a bad job with race relations in this country. But again, we are getting off kilter.
I agree there too.
Okay, let's put Obama in there. Let's put all the Democrats you hate in there. Okay. That's fine. I don't have a problem.
Hate all of them.
I understand, but I'm just saying we need to have a higher bar for all politicians, whether they have a D or an R next to their name, especially the President of the United States.
Okay, my problem is I just said, all right, it's over with.
It's not over with. He wasn't exonerated, Don. That's not factually accurate.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. Mueller said he wasn't. What are you talking about? You're not being factual.
They said
we're not talking about collusion. We're talking about obstruction. And Mueller left it to Congress and said he wasn't exonerating him. So, no, it's not over. You're wrong.
You and I will disagree.
It's not about Don. I appreciate the call, but you're 100% wrong. This isn't about disagreeing. Mueller put it in his report. Well, I mean, he spelled it out for you people on the right. Donald Trump was not exonerated. He's leaving it to Congress. Let's see what Congress does, and let's take it from there. I'm trying to be as fair as I can. You're wrong. You people are delusional who call in and say, oh, it's in the past. No, he was not exonerated. 257-5396, the number to call. Again, 702-257-5396. Also talking about this interview with Sarah Sanders on Good Morning America today, where she lied, and she admitted to lying in the Mueller report, and then she backsteps it. See, that's my problem. And yes, many politicians lie on the left and the right. There's no doubt about it. Hillary Clinton lied about the emails. That was purely disgusting. But again, she's not the president. She's not in politics anymore. I'm talking about the people that are in politics. I'm talking about Sarah Huckabee Sanders that speaks in front of the media not every day. She certainly doesn't speak in front of the media very often these days. There's a reason for that, by the way. She lied, and she continues to lie. It's in the Mueller report, and she doesn't own up to it. 257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Billy. Billy, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Yes. No matter what you say or how you say it, my president, Trump, he'll always be my president. And if he decides to run again, I will vote for him again.
Okay, you're entitled to do that.
You can say you will turn me away from my president.
When did I say he wasn't your president? I don't understand your point. You have the right to.
You call him garbage. You've called him scumbag.
I have called him a scumbag, yes. But I've never said. But have I ever said that you can't? Have I ever said?
Ever had in this country.
Donald Trump is the best president.
I don't care about the illegals on the border, neither.
Okay.
I don't give a hoot about them.
Okay. Where are you from, Billy? Do you have any ancestors that came into this country? What's your family history?
My family history?
Please.
I'm a black man.
I didn't ask what the color of your skin was. I said, what's your family ancestry? What's your history? Do you not know what it is?
What, you say that again?
I asked you a very simple question because you were the one who brought up immigration, not me. And by the way, I never said he's not your president. I never said he wasn't my president. I also never said you're not allowed to support him or vote for him. You brought up immigration. I asked you what your family...
I don't care about immigration.
You just brought it up 30 seconds ago. 30 seconds ago, you just said the word, not me. I'm asking you what your ancestry is, your history. Do you not know what it is?
Well, I guess I'm from Africa then. That's what my
So you have no idea what your family history is, and you want to talk to me about immigration. Are you serious?
I don't give a damn about immigration. Don't you get it?
Don't you get it? Our country was founded on immigrants. Don't you get it? What a dummy. You know, this is what I'm talking. The guy just sounded like he had an IQ of 40. He's the one who brought up immigration. Didn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. I didn't bring that up. He brought it up. He used that word, and then I asked him, what's your family ancestry? Where did you come from? He doesn't even know. This bird for brain doesn't even know his family ancestry, doesn't even know where his family... This country was founded on immigrants, okay? Now, if you want to talk about illegal immigration, and we had somebody who called in last hour who said they were all freaks because he was a racist, clearly. He was a proud racist. I'm going to quote you what Donald Trump said about immigration. He said this when he was in office, when he got the job. These people coming into this country, they're rapists, they're bad people, and I suppose some of them are good people. Well, guess what? That is not factually accurate. Because the majority of illegals that come into this country are good people. The majority of illegals are seeking asylum. And those are the people that we need to find. Those are the people that we need to give a pathway to citizenship. Okay? I talked about this story early in the week. This husband who lost his wife as she was fighting in Afghanistan, serving this country honorably. She lost her life. Horrible tragedy. The husband was deported back to Mexico because he didn't receive a letter because it was sent to the wrong address. Those types of things, these types of stories need to stop. And yes, illegals that come into this country that are felons, that kill people, and it's a very small percentage, but one is too many. I agree. They need to be stopped as well. I am for border security, but I am also for being a human being and allowing asylum seekers into this country, giving them some sort of pathway to citizenship. And if you want to build a wall and you want to put all this money towards a wall, which I don't think is going to happen, then we also need to talk about immigrants that come into this country and overstay their visas. Why is Donald Trump never bring that up? Explain that to me. Why is it that Donald Trump never talks about the immigrants that come into this country that overstay their visa? You know why? Because the majority of illegals in this country are just that. They overstay their visas. And make no mistake about it, never have I ever said on this show that you can't support Donald Trump. Never have I ever said on this show that you can't vote for Donald. You have the right to do that. That's what makes this country great. Now, I don't agree with the Electoral College. Keep in mind, Hillary got more votes than Donald Trump, so it wasn't like it was a landslide. I believe one vote in New York should mean the same as one vote in California. I've always felt that way, and I always will feel that way. And my opinion will never, ever change when it comes to that issue. But how could you be against, asylum seekers or have an opinion on immigration when you don't even know where your family came from? You don't even know your ancestors. Yeah, it's so ridiculous to me. I guarantee you that many of you go back years and years. I'm sure you had people in your family that were asylum seekers. I'm sure you had people in your family that came into this country, perhaps illegally, that made a better life for themselves. We need to find out who those good people are. Yes, we need to find out who these people are that are in this country illegally. I agree. But to make it sound like the majority of these people are horrible people, they're rapists, they're bad people, like what Donald Trump has said time and time again, demonizing many of these people. The majority of these, I say it all the time, the majority of these people are good people. They're not bad people. 257-5396, the number to call again, 257-5396. Let's go to Pete. Pete, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Brian, if you really want to understand the situation here with the illegals, you've got to put gas in your car. You've got to go into L.A. and go to the courthouses on Hill Street in L.A. You've got to go to the county jails in L.A. County. You have to go to Long Beach Jail and
what is that going to teach me?
Beach Jail.
And explain to me what that will teach me that I don't already know.
It will enlighten you. If you go visit these jails,
okay, tell me.
So far as to immerse yourself in these jails for a day or two, you will find out what the truth is.
Tell me, what's the truth?
The truth is it's brutal. It's brutal.
Okay, be specific. What does that mean?
You have hundreds of thousands of people, okay, clogging up the jails, the courtrooms, committing crimes and
okay, so what do you mean committing crimes? Out of those hundreds of thousands of people that you talked about, how many of those people are actually committing crimes?
Yeah, DUIs is among the most popular.
Okay, what is the percentage of illegals that come into this country that commit DUIs?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a lot of them.
You don't know, but it's a lot of them. And you're
right.
Pete, come on, help me out. Pete, I'm giving you a chance, buddy. Come on, help me out.
Trust me, visit the jails and the courthouses.
What do you mean trust you? You don't know. So there's a lot of people in the jails. You've made that point. We don't have enough judges. We know that. If they're out of those, let's just say 200. Let's just take 200,000 illegals in California. How many of those people are bad people, and how many of those people are asylum seekers?
I don't know. All I know.
What do you mean you don't know? You want me to just? You want me to go in the jail? I'm going to see a bunch of people that are locked up. If you want me to go to the courthouse, I'm going to see a lot of illegals that are seeing judges, and it's overflow. I get that, but that's not going to teach me anything. What I'm trying to tell people like you, Pete, with all due respect, is that the majority of these people are not bad people.
Okay, well, let me say this real quick. As a long-haul truck driver, I've been all over the border towns all my life, driving through those areas, I-10, I-40, I-8, and pretty much everything south of I-10 is now part of Mexico. And it's been that way for quite a while, actually. You'd have to go down there and see for yourself to know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm trying to get more information from you. Let me ask you a question. To an asylum seeker, that his or her family, they could lose their lives. They come into this country to try to make a better life for themselves. What should we do to those people? Should we lock them up? Should we cage them? Should we send them back?
You're going to have to make some hard choices because there's way.
Well, I'm asking you, what is your choice? It's a hard choice for you, Pete. It's not a hard choice for me.
Brian, it falls back on the age-old dynamic. Overpopulation, Overpopulation, starvation, and war. Overpopulation, starvation, and war. Over and over.
So you
and
don't
over
think?
Again.
So
and
you
right
don't.
now we're approaching the war stage.
All right. Well, I disagree with you. I don't think we're. What kind of war are you talking? What do you mean we're approaching the war? Who are we at war with? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the dynamic of overpopulation.
That doesn't mean we have a war. Who are we fighting a war with?
Starvation and war. Now Argentina, and I could go on and on and on. It's for real. It's happening. And
I never said it. I understand what you're saying, but I never said it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that the majority of these people are not bad people, Pete. That's all I'm trying to say. We have to have some compassion for some of these people. I mean, I tried to get specifics from you. You said you need to go to these jails. You need to go to these courtrooms. What's that going to show me? A bunch of people that are locked up because they're illegal? I know that that's happening. It's a problem, Pete. This is a problem that needs to be fixed by both the Democrats and the Republicans. We need to find out who these people are, and if they're not bad people, if they are asylum seekers, if they want a better life for them and their family, if they've never committed a felony, we need to come up with some type of situation that makes sense for these people. And if you've committed a felony, if you're a bad person, sorry, you're either going to be locked up in jail or you're going to be sent back, one or the other. I am for that. I don't want bad people entering this country, but that's the point I'm trying to make. The majority of these people are good people who mow your lawns, who cook your food, so on and so forth. We need those people in this country. What do we not want? Bad people, felons. But see, that's the problem. When somebody like that, with all due respect to Pete, when somebody like that calls in and they bring up DUIs, I didn't bring that up. He brought it up. And then I say, okay, these hundreds of thousands of people that you're talking about that are illegals in California, how many of them commit DUIs? He doesn't know. He laughs and he doesn't know. Then don't bring up DUIs and don't demonize these people if you don't have the facts, because I do. And the majority of these people are not bad people. They're good people. And they deserve to be treated like human beings. Yes, they broke the law. I get that. Yes, they crossed the border illegally. But many of them for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. And we'll leave it at that, friends. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, this guy's won $30 million playing poker, tournament poker, in his lifetime. And as good of a poker player as he is more knowledgeable when it comes to the NHL and the Vegas Golden Knights. And we're going to preview Game 6 with the one and only Daniel Negreanu when we come back. You are listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDWN.